But we're going to start with that vote of confidence for Erik Ten Hag from midfielder Scott McTominay, who's insisted that the Manchester United dressing room remains fully behind its manager. The pressure has ramped up on Ten Hag following Saturday's 3-0 defeat to Bournemouth, when United were booed off. But McTominay says the mood is less toxic than it was under previous managers.
It's the players' responsibility, first and foremost. Players know that as well. We've had many amazing players over the time, and I feel like now we're at a stage where we've got big characters in the dressing room, where it's not just a case of like some of the other managers where it's been a little bit toxic at times. The boys are firmly behind the manager, and that's the be all and end all. I've said that in many other interviews, and that's the way it will remain to stay. We've got amazing coaching staff as well, so yeah, people can get lost in translation and get carried away with what the players think and what they say behind closed doors. We just want to do well for the football club, and that's as simple as that.
I think Old Trafford is not a nice place to come for an opponent, and we are aware of it. It starts with us, but then, of course, then you hope that the fans, we are together. And as long as I'm here, I always have the feeling we are absolutely together. There's a very strong bond between the team and the fans. They're always behind us, even when we have big setbacks, and they're staying behind us. They're supporting us. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. But we have to take the responsibility. It starts with us. We have to energise them.
Quite the united front then from Ten Hag and McTominay. However, the pair did acknowledge the club's inconsistent form. Despite that, McTominay says the players must match their opponents and are determined to put that right.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see in the Premier League, every team is super athletic. You go and play in the Champions League, every team can run. For us, a lot of the time we need to match that and more whenever you're playing for this football club, and that's been a clear message for all those players on the pitch when we are playing, that we need to get together. Sometimes it's the manager can't do too much whenever he's on the sideline. It needs to come from the players, and we need to stick together while we are on the pitch as well. So, as you say, with the ideas that we've had and sometimes the way we've played has been amazing, and it's finding that consistency and that balance where we can continue to do that on a regular basis.
We are not consistent, clear, but we have also a very good performance and highs. So if we get it, when we are in the right spirit, then we are able to do it. Then we are able to beat any opponent.
What gives you the belief, Erik, that the team can win tomorrow and extend your stay in Europe? Because the form hasn't been good. It's been 14 goals conceded, 3 defeats. What gives you the belief? What have you seen that gives you the belief the team can go ahead and do that tomorrow night?
As I said, the game against Chelsea and the game against Everton. Even the game against Galatasaray, and so I know this team can perform really high levels, and that's not that we did it 3 months ago. No, we did it last week, and so I know we can do it. And when we have the right mood, we have the right spirit, starts with the right attitude. If everyone is ready for it, we are able to do it.
Is the biggest concern for you that you don't know which of your teams is going to turn up? Because you have a great performance against Chelsea, then you have what happened at the weekend. Is that the most frustrating thing for you as a manager? You don't know which Manchester United is going to turn up.
It's not about to get frustrated about that. We have to work about that. So so that's my responsibility to set the team, to prepare the team, that they improve on that fact. And I will give everything, and I know my players do as well.
Paul, talk about belief, Erik. How do you inject that belief into your players? What kind of methods do you employ to give them that?
I only have to show them the clips from Chelsea and how we can play. And if we do that, if we are there all on one page, stick together, we will make, and we have a good plan, yeah, then we go. And then, as I said, we can beat any opponent.
Well, they'll need to dig in because the fixtures really don't get any easier for Ten Hag. Next up for Manchester United, Bayern Munich at Old Trafford. That's tomorrow night. That's followed by 2 Premier League away games at Liverpool and West Ham, and then Aston Villa at home on Boxing Day. The year ends with Nottingham Forest away, followed by Wigan away in the FA Cup third round. That's on January the 8th. So Saturday's 3-0 defeat to Bournemouth was the 5th time Manchester United have conceded 3 goals or more at Old Trafford this season, and the 9th time in total from their 23 games so far this season. A former United goalkeeper, Mark Bosnich, says that Erik Ten Hag desperately needs to improve his side's defensive organisation.
So when they lose the ball and their ability to get back in position defensively has been very, very poor, and you saw that. basically for the first 2 goals, and it could have been even more when Bournemouth hit the post as well in the first half and had some other chances. So that's very, very important, especially when you aren't playing particularly well. The consistency for me is something that everyone strives for. And I think at Old Trafford, sometimes it becomes a mental block, especially after they go 1-0 down. You see here, Bruno Fernandes starts throwing his arms up in the air, and you can just feel it just sort of sink, throughout the whole team. And the other thing I would really love to ask, if I had an opportunity to ask Erik Ten Hag, in view of, of what's happened with Jadon Sancho, what happened with Ronaldo a year ago, Rafael Varane, if he's fit, why doesn't he play? Is there an issue there? Because even though Luke Shaw is a fantastic fullback, he's not as effective as Rafael Varane is at centre-back. And I think you saw that in the weekend, and it's cost them.
Yeah, so following the match against Bayern, it's the big one. They're away to Liverpool for Super Sunday this weekend, a game you can see live on Sky Sports Football.